Greetings and welcome to this week's Just Talk. Oh yes, we're back with another of our weekly channel news and analytics shows, and this in the week in which, well, it's our second week of live streaming these recordings. So it seemed to go down pretty well last time. We had a fair number of people watching, generally positive responses, a couple of concerns which we will definitely try to take on board. When I say we, of course, I mean me, because it is just me. I will take those concerns on board and try and keep the Just Talk bit fairly like its original recording, and then I will just stop from time to time during that recording and check if anybody who is watching has any questions. We'll do a bit of Q&A and then we'll go back to finishing the recording. Fantastic. Right, well, what has happened this week? Well, my parents have been up to visit, so it's been yet another rather busy week for me. Basically, the last few days I haven't had any time at all for channel stuff, although I had pre-recorded a couple of videos, so we've actually done, I think, 6 videos this week. I think we've got back to a video every day, which is precisely the way that I would like it, including yesterday. There was actually almost like a bonus video yesterday, the Medieval Engineer survival building. Which was interesting. It took me 3 attempts to make that video, and I got very frustrated throughout the process. Medieval Engineers, fantastic game. The survival mode, it's got a little way to go. I think we can leave it at that. It's got a little way to go. So let's go through the regular analytics. We'll do that first. We'll go through the videos, and then if anybody has any questions, we will take questions at that point. There's the comments page. A few new commenters popping up. Intelligent Croc, previously Metro Gaming HD, and a wizard on Twitter, which is good to see. The more wizards on Twitter, the better. Inane Data, Sniper Sandy, also a new one, I think. The old faithful Chalkson, who is also known as Jonas KR. Fear not, I have not forgotten. I am aware. Sometimes I become slightly confused. As I'm sure you can appreciate, I have a lot of names flow through the comment section, and Twitter, especially Twitter, even more so Twitter. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If diff gif games, yes. Indeed. Fallen X, Life's a Game 2006, Avenger Penguin, Inane Data a second time. There we go. Those are the people on the front page of the comments this week. It's been quite an interesting week. It's been another week where I've done no publicizing at all. Virtually nothing on Twitter, nothing anywhere else. And the stats show that, although we've had a little bit of a bounce back this week, which is nice to see. Let's take a look at the geographies first. The old faithful geographies. United Kingdom, still top of the pile there, followed by the United States. This is for subscribed and unsubscribed. Combined figures, 947 to 856, with Germany a solid third place there. Canada, Netherlands, Finland, Brazil. Finland, of course, Bone Hero, I believe, is in Finland. So a lot of those could well be from him. And yeah, Brazil, Poland, Russia, all on sort of much of a muchness around here, actually, which is quite interesting to see. There we go, fantastic. And in terms of average view duration, it looks like Cyprus winning out there with 11 minutes 42. No one else really coming anywhere near that. We've got 9 minutes 19 from New Zealand, and 8 minutes 28 from Thailand there. So there we go. Pretty interesting. Let's just quickly check that against subscribed and non-subscribed. So subscribed, United Kingdom are well and truly top of the pile. Definitely seems to be where a lot of the views are coming from, or at least a lot of the subscribed viewers are coming from the UK. My home country, of course, 623 views, 4,745 minutes watched. Average view duration, 7 minutes 37. Interestingly, United States, second place with 231 views, but a slightly higher average view duration of 8 minutes 14. And indeed, Germany also beating the UK's average view duration there with 8 minutes. Canada and Finland, look at that, 10 minutes 15. Finland, 13 minutes 18. Thanks, Bone Hero. Cyprus, 13 minutes 55. Anyone beat 13 minutes 55? Oh, look at that. Chile, 15 minutes and 19. Only 5 views, but must have been pretty much the entire video each time. So that's pretty cool. Oh, 17 minutes and 3. Look, Thailand, only 4 views. But still, all right, go Thailand. Nice. All right. Quick look at the non-subscribed then. United States again takes the lead here, 625, same as last time, same as last week basically. 2,883 minutes watched. Average view durations, much of a muchness there. 4 minutes 36, 4 minutes 37, 4 minutes 52, 4 minutes 31 in Germany. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not a great deal of change, I think, from the stats last week. Although I haven't once again gone back and actually checked over them. So I apologise if you are watching this and saying, but no, they're completely different. I wouldn't know. Good. All right, back to the overview. So, male, female, 9.5%. Is that up slightly? I seem to remember that being more like 8% last time. This is for not subscribed. For subscribed, in fact, for not subscribed, it was well down. 8.7%. Look for subscribed. I think that's maybe more or less the same. Maybe it's gone up a little bit as well. But I think the not subscribed has gone way up there. Subscribed and not subscribed, 9.2%. That's definitely up a bit. I like this. I'm very happy about this. This is a good thing. Traffic sources, YouTube search dropped to 24%, channel page 22%, browse feature 13%, other 41%. I think the reason that the search is perhaps dropping a little bit is because we're coming off the back of the Kerbal Space Program sort of rush of interest that happened around 1.0, and I think I got some videos in there relatively early in the 1.0 release. So I think some of the search results, especially when people were restricting it, for the last hour or day or week or whatever, were possibly spitting out my videos. And certainly the views on some of those older videos would indicate that that's the case. I mean, they're much higher views than my normal audience base generates. So it'll be interesting to watch that continue to sort of fluctuate and compare that to the actual views we're getting on videos. Playback location, the watch page, overwhelming majority of where the videos are played back, which I suppose is not unusual or not expected. Traffic sources for subscribers, YouTube channel page 38%, browse feature 32%, 7.9 and 22%. And not subscribed. Search, actually, for not subscribed, it's still up. If anything, it's gone up even more, 38%. So perhaps what I just said is a load of rubbish. I'm not sure. It shows how much I understand this. YouTube search results 38%. Okay, fine. Suggested videos 14%. Direct or unknown 13%. Other 34%. We'll reference back to this, I think, as we go forward and see how it kicks in. I'm planning, if all goes well, to really kick the Twitter publicity machine back into full gear next week, to see how that, so we can see if that sort of like kicks in and what effect that has on those numbers. Could be quite interesting. Or it might make no difference whatsoever. You never know. We'll do a quick look at views. And of course we'll overlay minutes watched. So the last week is sort of along here. What is it at the moment? It's the 21st today. This is the 19th. So this, I think, is going back into, let's say, the 21st. So 20th, 19th was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So this is last Sunday. So actually, interestingly, last Sunday was quite is that right? 14th? 14th was last Sunday. Yeah. So last Sunday was actually a relatively low thing here. We've actually had 1 hour and 17 minutes watched. Oh, it's because we're on, look, I get confused. It's because we're on not subscribed. All right, so last Sunday was low for not subscribed. Not surprising, as the only thing that went out on Sunday was, of course, Just Talk, which is probably of limited interest to people who are not subscribed. If we factor in subscribed and not subscribed, then we get a much more respectable 5 hours and 5 minutes last Sunday, and then sort of you can see the track through the week is generally trending upwards. This is in part because if we look back at the previous 2 weeks, both weeks had less than the full 6 or 7 videos released. Previous week had only 5 videos, including the Just Talk released, I think, and the week before that only 6 videos. So that obviously has a knock-on impact. There was a bit of a spike here. I'm not sure what that spike was related to, but generally speaking, I think we're kind of, we're moving more or less in the right direction. Down to 7 hours and 31 minutes on the 19th, which was Friday, which was Retro Friday. It's Rune. Rune is never all that popular, so that's not entirely surprising. Be interesting to see what Saturday winds up as, because that was, although it's not had a huge number of views, it'll be interesting to see just how many minutes watched, because it's a long video. It's the longest video I've done in quite a while. 40 minutes, 43 minutes, I think, in the end as well. So quite a long video. Don't know if people like the longer videos. It's not something I intend to do a lot of, but occasionally it just seems to make sense to me, rather than splitting it into 2 videos and doing it as 2 separate things. Grand. All right. Let's take a look at audience retention. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, look, that's sort of trending up more or less, isn't it? We're up to 5 minutes 42 seconds, up as high as 7 minutes 30 seconds. Average view duration 5 minutes 21, 31% viewed. Generally, well, I don't know. I mean, across a long period of time, it's probably pretty flat. Subscribers, now this is the telling, as I said, no publicity at all this week, and we've gained basically 1 new subscriber, 1 new subscriber, 1 new subscriber. -2, -3, -2. I have noticed this going down. Look, if we go back to the dashboard, this was over 1,350 at one point this week, and it's dropped all the way back to 1,346. It's not that big of a deal. It's not something that I really concern myself with, because obviously people unsubscribing aren't watching the channel anyway. It probably comes down to maybe people who subscribed hoping that I would subscribe back, and when I don't, they unsubscribe from my channel. Maybe it's just people, cleaning up their YouTube boxes and stuff. Frankly, I'm perfectly happy. I'd rather this reflect more accurately the number of actual views I get off of videos. So that's fine by me. But like I said, next week we're going to kick the publicity machine back into. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Analytics. We're going to kick the publicity machine back into full gear and try and get the channel growing again like it was before, because it would be nice to start seeing some substantial forward progress, and it means putting in the hours. Basically, that's what it comes down to. If you run your own YouTube channel, then you will know that. Well, I don't know. Maybe other people have differing opinions on this, but generally speaking, if you don't put in the hours publicizing, you don't get traffic, and so it's important to really keep, or at least you don't grow your traffic. The regular subscribers hopefully keep coming back if they like what you're doing. Good. That was subscribers we were looking at. So yeah, it's kind of flat. If we just look at subscribers gained. So yeah, basically no new subscribers gained these 3 days, and we lost some, and we gained 1 here and lost 1. Sorry, we gained 2, lost 1, so we had a net gain of 1. But otherwise, this is what I would expect from no publicity, basically, and no kind of popular videos, no videos breaking out of the sort of the channel bounds, which is something else that I need to look at. Likes and dislikes. Not too bad. I have noticed a few videos getting fewer likes. I don't know if that's just people sort of getting used to things and not clicking on the like button, or if it's generally because people are starting to lose interest in certain series. Comments still, pretty much holding. In fact, if anything, sort of like tending to increase a little bit. We've had these big spikes where people have had conversations, which is awesome. But like this is, I think, probably reflects a slightly truer level of comments, where it's mostly first comments or second or third comments, rather than people bouncing conversations back and forth, which is still very good, and it still helps the channel publicity and helps the channel visibility and a particular video visibility and stuff. So no problem with people doing that, but obviously that's fine as well. Good. Right, well, that's it really for the analytics. I think we've been through it all. Anybody of the 2 people watching currently the live stream, interestingly, had a lot more watching last week. This week I didn't really announce it all that much. I mean, I announced that it was going to be happening again this week, but I didn't kind of make a big deal out of it, partly because my folks were here and I just haven't. They were sleeping in my nerd room. Can you believe it? I had very limited access to my computer. It was most troublesome. But then parents can be most troublesome, as I'm sure many of you may agree. But so I didn't really, and they only just left today, this morning. So I haven't really drummed up the publicity, but that's fine as well because it is ultimately just a recording that will go up on YouTube. So that is fine. But if anybody does have any questions, let me know. In the meantime, let's go and take a look at the video manager, and we'll just talk about the videos from the last week, and I think that'll probably wrap up Just Talk for today. How long are we going for? 20 odd minutes. That's more or less good. So yeah, Medieval Engineers Survival Building, the video I did yesterday. Kind of a bit different from my normal Medieval Engineers content. It was in survival mode for starters, so no wizarding powers, no creating blocks out of nothing, no flying about. Survival is very, very basic in Medieval Engineers at this point. What it really means is laborious rather than survival. Yes, you can die, but you just respawn when you die. And you have to actually chop down. Now they've added survival building. You actually have to chop down trees and gather the wood together in one place and build. And if you want to see what it's like, watch the video and revel in the frustration that it causes me. It's a step forward, but it's still got a long way to go. And this is, like I say, this is a long video. So if anybody you have any comments on that length, if it put you off watching the video at all, I would love to hear from you to say, look, if when I see a 43-minute video, I tend not to bother. Whether you started watching it and signed off early as well, interested to hear. Or if you watched it all the way through and you want to see more content of that length, or you watched it all the way through and you don't want to see more content of that length, all the comments are welcome. Give me all of your comments. It has actually had quite a few comments. Look, 7, that's probably including some of my replies. 5 likes, which isn't bad for it only having been up. It went up very late on Saturday, about 9 p.m. on Saturday, which is much later than I normally publish my videos. 9 p.m. UK time, obviously. But it has been up all day today, and I mean 5 likes isn't too bad. We'll see how that develops. 5 likes off of 28 views is a reasonable performance. Retro Friday, Rune, episode 10. Ragnar continues his epic quest. This time facing many dwarves. 9 comments, only 2 likes, and 16 views. It can't have long left now. I mean, I've recorded further ahead than I am. I've probably recorded maybe another half an episode, or maybe a full episode's worth, and then I'm reckoning maybe another episode to take me to the conclusion. I hope so. Anyway, I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll do that as like a feature-length closing episode. That might be interesting. Depends what people thought of the 43-minute video, to be honest with you. City Skylines, another series that seems to be diminishing a little bit in terms of the amount people like the videos. Views are staying fairly steady, to be fair, but if you compare it, look, episode 12, 38 views, 9 likes. Episode 13, 34 views, so only 4 less views, but 5 likes. So I mean, I don't know if this means anything or not, but it's something that I'm kind of I'm keeping an eye on, and I'm getting the feeling at the moment like it's worth starting to think out an exit plan for City Skylines, for Wizardtopia. Try and work out kind of like, right, what are the things that I want to have done by the time I finish the series. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean I'm never going to come back to City Skylines, but I think there's a few things that I definitely want to finish off and a few milestones that I want to hit. But again, if anybody has any comments on that, anybody wants to let me know, then comment, let me know. And that's awesome. Plug and Play. Oh, what can we say about Plug and Play? If you haven't watched it, then, well, go and watch it, but don't blame me if you're really weirded out by it. Most liked video of the week with 15 likes, and 46 views is a nice healthy viewing figure as well. Lots of comments, lots of people moved to comment. It's really weird. Massive thank you to Fallen X for gifting me the game on Steam. I probably never would have picked it up otherwise, so that's fantastic, and I really enjoyed playing that. I'm talking about Weird Wednesdays. I've bought a couple of games on the Steam sale for Weird Wednesday that I'm looking forward to playing. So that's going to be. I think we've got some. So hopefully, fingers crossed, some good Weird Wednesdays to come. Maybe not quite as weird as Plug and Play. It may be that this is the weirdest game in all creation. If it is, I apologise that we have reached the pinnacle of weirdness, but we will continue to quest for more weirdness. Fear not. Fear not. Kerbal Space Program, Juno 1 and a bit. Pretty good. 38 views, 11 likes, 11 comments. Generally fairly well received. I'm hoping that when I actually start to pick up the pace with Tuna 1 and a bit videos, which I keep meaning to get like a really decent recording session in and get some videos in the bag so that we can do some multiple videos in a week. So hopefully that will this will become like, you know, a bit more popular and start to become perhaps not the mainstay, but one of the big series on the channel at the moment. Especially if Cities starts to sort of like drop away and we start thinking about replacing that with something. People like the live stream highlights video as well. 55 views. I mean, only 9 likes, but you know, generally speaking, it did pretty well. And then of course last week's live stream recording, which is what this is, which is going to be quite long, 26 minutes. What was that one? It was only 14. Maybe I can cut it down. I guess we'll see. So there we go. That was the week. That is everything. Let me just quickly check. Indymus, I intend to watch it, but not had the time yet, although 43 minutes is quite long. The fact that you can resume from stopped helps. I have been told the optimum time for videos is 25 odd minutes, but I'm no YouTuber. Well, but generally speaking, I agree with that, and that's what I tend to aim for. I say 25 minutes. I aim for 15 to 25 minutes, with a lot of videos falling in the sort of 20-minute mark. I mean, look, Cities, 18 minutes, 18 minutes, 16 minutes, 20 minutes, 14, 15. It looks like I actually tend lower, 27 minutes, 17, 20. So yeah, like 15 to 20 is more or less where I aim. And I think that's quite good. 25 minutes is probably the outer edge of what a normal video should be, but yeah, it's something that's worth thinking about. The occasional longer video is not bad, because even if it's only watched by channel regulars and they watch it all the way through, it helps to boost up the channel's overall viewing rates, if you know what I mean. Like if I put an hour-long video and people watch it, then although the average view duration doesn't obviously change because it's average, the total minutes watched, or the average minutes watched, obviously does get pushed up. So that can be potentially useful. But anyway, that is it. I think that is it for the channel news, or certainly for the analytics this week. I don't really have any other channel news. Like I said, my parents have been up, so I haven't been thinking about the channel all that much. City Skylines, we're starting to think about wrapping that up. That's channel news, I guess. But apart from that, everything is just ticking over, and hopefully there'll be more to talk about next week. There will be live streaming going on this week. I'm probably going to be live streaming on Wednesday, possibly Tuesday as well, but Tuesday's looking like it might be quite a busy day. But I will publish information on Twitter, and I will also put up a banner on the Twitch channel that will have information about upcoming broadcasts and stuff. And what I'm planning on doing for that is probably I'm going to play Skyrim, but I don't know. I'm looking for feedback from people and see what people want to see, and all that jazz. So there we go. Fantastic. Right, well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.